to Spitfire, where we put your favorite players in the hot seat. My name's Sparky878, and joining me today is Alexi Addymestic Salampa and Jonathan Cake Overgaard. Now, two amazing players from Brawlhalla, both in singles and in doubles. 19th global overall PR for Addymestic, 10th overall global PR for Cake. Thank y'all so much for joining me today. How are you with spicy food?
I don't generally have spicy food, but I think I'm fine.
Now, initially when I asked you to do this, you were a little bit cautious at first, and you were like, you know what, I'll be fine. I put sriracha on my pizza.
Yeah,
and
that's how I practice.
I didn't want to tell you, but sriracha's like,
you don't have to break it to me.
it's like right here or maybe right here. So just buckle up and do your best. What about you, Cake?
I'm pretty good, I think.
All right,
We'll see.
Let's get started. You're going to be reaching to your left, moving to your right, and we're going to start with the classic from Hot Ones.
All right.
Now, Addy, you used to play with Rain for a really long time, and that continued to when you were signed to Reason Gaming, of which Cake later became a part of. But in this recurring segment for 2v2 teams, how did y'all meet up?
So me and Cake,
Yeah.
I think we met through tournaments. We kept running into each other pretty often. And when they announced the Brawlhalla circuit for 2017, they said you're gonna need like a single stable teammate to get invited through the circuit points. So I figured I'd talk to Cake because he seemed like a really solid pickup after they won with Cedero.
Now, what was your initial outlook on Addy? Like, obviously you knew he was a good player, but when he was like, hey, play 2v2s with me where we're gonna have to communicate with each other, where we're gonna talk to each other, where you're essentially gonna become one cohesive unit and essentially become friends.
I mean, he was a great player, so I was done, you know?
You didn't care about anything else?
I was a little cautious of dropping Cedero, but...
We got second in winter, so it worked out.
Yeah. Your first tournament, y'all were absolutely amazing on. And that was huge at the time. You breaking up with Rain and forming this new team. Who were you playing with before that?
Cedero.
Cedero.
Yeah, sure, Cedero.
It's Cedero.
It is?
Yes, it is. Now we're going to move on to the next one. This is going to be the Bronx's Green Market Hot Sauce. Now this is one of like two green ones that we have.
Starting to feel the sriracha.
Now, if you go back to previous stream VODs of like any LAN, you would on rare occasions see like a couple NA players come up to help their losing NA player, to help coach them. And it would usually be like one of their friends or two of their really close friends. But when EU was on LAN and the chips were down, you had like 3, 4, 5 people come up. You had like the whole EU crew come up. What was it about EU that y'all were a really tight-knit group of where like it didn't matter who was on stage. Every EU person was always rooting for the EU guy on stage, whether it was Cake, whether it was you, whether it was like Inframini, it didn't matter who it was. Why was the EU crew like so tight-knit in that?
So when was this?
This is like 2016.
2016. Okay. I don't know. I feel like we all come from different countries, but we still feel like we're still coming in from one country, which is Europe, kind of. I don't know. Feels like we're all just one big group of friends. And
Was it like the EU versus NA thing?
that too.
Like obviously the individual win for you is that trumps everything. That's the most important. But like if you win for your region, you not only win for yourself, but like you win for your region.
Yeah. It's the region thing, and we're all going into this like NA country that no one's ever been to before, and we all talk about it beforehand. And I don't know, just want to root for each other because it's just one group.
But once the EU versus NA feud was kind of settled a little bit, like once NA traveled over and still won, did you think the like EU rallying together, do you think that kind of lost some steam, or has it just been like over time it's lost some steam?
We kind of know we aren't going to win, or we knew we weren't going to win, but we were still like hoping for it, so we were all ready to like run up and cheer for each other, but a bit cautious, I guess.
All right, we're going to move to number 3 out of 10. We're almost a third of the way done, and you're doing great so far. This is Chiba Gold from High River Sauces. Now, both of you are on black team. for EU Pro Series, an event that was completely focused on the top player. It was this small amount of games, twice a week, where you knew your opponent that you could prepare for, specifically them ahead of time. It wasn't like a bracket where you can prepare, like you can guess that, oh, I might go against Cake 10 rounds from now, but if he loses to this person, I'll go against that person. What was that like compared to the regular, like online or offline tournament bracket?
Wait, what are we talking about now? That happened? Wait.
What Pro Series? Yeah. I don't know. It was nice. It was, I guess, good to know who you're gonna play like beforehand. Like you could prepare if you wanted to. Not saying that we did a lot, but I don't know. It was a good format in my opinion.
Did you like how, because it was not a huge like time commitment, like whenever you sign up for a tournament,
Yeah.
players of y'all status, like you're kind of locking in for 4, sometimes 5, even back in the old days,
Yeah.
as much as 6 hours, a huge chunk out of your day. But when you were like, I'm locking in for
Like 30 minutes.
a few sets of the day, like
Yeah.
like was that refreshing? Was that nice to be
That was
like,
actually super
I'm gonna be
nice.
on and then I'm gonna be off?
Yeah, you had like a specific time slot of a day that you had to show up and just play your game, and that was really nice because you didn't have to commit your whole day to it. So
I didn't really like that it was only like, you only had to play like 1 game per day. It was kind of,
well, yeah.
like you played 1 game and then you were done. It was,
Well, that's true too. Like, if you got momentum after the first game, it kind of sucked that you have to like quit after. But it's nice that it's not like time commitment. So, I guess 2 different sides.
Yeah.
Now, because it was like the first Pro Series ever, and it was like a new format completely for Brawlhalla, did y'all feel any different going into it? Like, was the competition level higher because it was all top players? Did you feel any extra pressure on yourselves because it's not just like me and a 2v2 partner, it's me and 2 other people that are like focusing on me for this 1v2 situation, or all the weight's on my shoulders for this crew battle? Was there any difference in terms of pressure or like competition level?
That was like the same pressure for me at least.
Yeah,
I'd say.
pretty much. I get the pressure of my teammates. So of course there is that pressure that I don't want to let Doreen down. I don't want to let Cake down. But I'm pretty used to it because that's the same stuff you feel in 2v2s. So it's not that different from it. Level of competition was very high, but like not any much higher than it is in like top 5 of an online normal tournament. So
Which is where you guys usually find yourselves.
yeah, usually. Yeah.
All right, we're gonna move on to the next one. This is the first of 2 adobo loco sauces. This is gonna be the Hawaiian Himajang hot sauce. So at one point, y'all had like a 7 online tournament win streak between the 2 of you and 2s. And for quite some time, Addy, you were like the man to beat in EU until Blue kind of, you passed the torch to him and he kind of took over as like the #1 guy undisputed for a long time in EU.
Yeah.
Now, we've seen some shakeups in 1s here recently and even in 2s a little bit, but since both of y'all were mostly undisputed for a long, extended period of time, what does it take for a top player to consistently be good in a game that could possibly be hugely changing every 2 weeks with patches?
I don't know. I kind of feel like we found our setup. We found our like characters. We had a really good team synergy during that time. Kind of felt like doesn't really matter what patch it is, we could win. Like I feel like we did play some different characters from different tournaments.
Yeah.
At least I think I played maybe World Bar and well obviously Val.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We kind of had everything lined up, so it didn't really matter for us which patch it was. Like. If we practiced in ranked, we always kind of won, and same in tournament. So I don't know what you have to do to prepare for that, but I feel like all the stars lined up for us, at least during that time. So
How did the pressure kind of work? Because once you start winning, everyone kind of expects you to win. So it's like in the early days of like the US West regional qualifier, like LDZ was by far the #1 player, not only in the world, but definitely in the US West region. Like he would go up against Mother Russia at the first regional qualifier, and he was like, pressure's huge. I know I can beat him, but what if I don't win? That would be kind of embarrassing. So how did y'all feel with that? Like, was the pressure on the entire time, or after a while where you're just like, yeah, we can win. I'm not even worried about that.
I feel like there is some pressure, but once you win a lot, you kind of tell yourself that even though we're losing right now, we're still good enough to win. So, like, we would usually go to the point where it's like game 5, but we would still always clutch it out because we knew we like could just win the whole thing. Yeah, pretty much.
Moving on to the next one, we have Los Calientes from Hot Ones. This is the sauce of the summer.
It's the one everyone talks about.
Now we pulled out the magnifying glass and combed through your social media to find a couple things for each of you that need a little bit more context in this segment called social studies.
Okay.
Now, Cake, you're up first. Now you might not recognize this guy, but look at that little baby. Look at that little baby Cake.
I gotta go.
Look him in the eyes. From 2012.
Guess I don't.
Now, for those that are going to see this at home, you can't judge him for the hair. That was the hairstyle of the time, so you can't blame him for that. Did this little guy several years ago have any clue that in a very short amount of time he would be traveling the world as a professional Brawlhalla player? Like, did he have any clue?
I don't think so, no. No idea.
Now, what would you have told him if you could go back in time and give him advice? What's one piece of advice that you would give him?
I don't know, to be honest.
All right.
No idea.
Now for you, Addy, you tweeted, this is someone else saying this, how many sandwiches do you want to eat? And then your response was, in all caps, woman, I'm playing the third game of a BCS set. Now I can only guess that you're talking to your mother.
Yeah.
In that
I
way.
think
So first, look in any of these cameras and apologize to your mother.
I'm sorry, Mom. But timing was kind of rough,
Oh,
I
you
think.
tweeted that?
Yeah, he tweeted
Apparently.
that in a public setting.
I have no recollection of this, but I'm gonna assume that's true.
So your mom, we have a picture of her with a tattoo of Val.
Yeah.
Now, with that picture of Val, are you worried, like, I can't
Yeah.
play that many other characters?
100%.
Has she ever said, like, stop playing Petra, I got the Val tattoo, I'm not getting a
No.
Petra tattoo,
Not
I'm
yet.
not getting the Thor
I'm
tattoo?
waiting to have that talk. But yeah, right after BCX, I was like, this is when I kind of want to drop Val, but I'm like hella committed right now. So yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna keep going back to Val just to not betray that tattoo, I guess.
To appease Mama
Yeah.
Mestic? Shouts out Mama Mestic. Now, Cake, at one point you tweeted, you name yourself, in quotes, MM standing for money match, me Cake. And when I agree to money match you, you say not right now, and then like 18 question marks. At Flamethrower192, you added him on Twitter and said, fucking pathetic, lol.
I did indeed.
Did you end up money matching him?
No?
He never agreed to it?
No. I mean, we never talked after that, I think. Pretty sure he has me blocked, so.
Pretty
He
pathetic.
has come back a few times in tournament.
Yeah.
In any of these cameras, reissue the challenge to him.
Money match with Flamethrower?
How much?
I don't know. How much he wants?
What's your max?
Unlimited.
Oh, unlimited. Unlimited. You heard it here first. If you don't answer the call, Flamethrower. Kind of weak, dude. Now, Addy, you saw this picture a little bit earlier, but you're gonna get some context on this because a lot of the new Brawlhalla fans in the scene will not necessarily recognize some of these faces.
That's a throwback. That's a beautiful throwback.
So who is that in the picture?
On the left, that's me. Next to me is Lance, which was the best Lance player in Europe at the time. Then there's in the middle is Marshall the Hockey. He's our recent gaming manager, super nice guy. Rain, my old TVT teammate, and Effie, the god himself.
Now, that was the first time all of y'all had come to North America together?
I'm pretty sure for all of us it was the first time. Yeah.
So what was that like? Like taking that picture, being that like one Reason Gaming team all together. What was that like to be in a foreign country all together for like one unified goal?
Yeah. It was probably the most surreal experience I've had. Like the fact that Reason Gaming flew us out in the first place, all 5 of us, like just with faith, nothing else but faith, since we weren't like the best players at the time. I don't know, felt super surreal traveling with them. Like initially I flew to London to meet up with them. I stayed at Effie's and we took a train to Manchester and then we flew there together. It was all super chill and nice.
Yeah,
Even though we didn't do too good in the tournament, just like me and Ray talked about it afterwards. We were like, it just felt like a dream. Like, was very nice.
That was really special to see like all of y'all together. That was a huge moment in Brawlhalla history. Like we look at it now, y'all travel out all the time. Daiku travels out all the time. Other European players, like we see them more often now. But back then, like that was so huge in the Brawlhalla timeline. That was a huge moment in history. We're gonna move on to the next one. This is the second Adobo Loco sauce. It's gonna be the Adobo Loco Kolohe Kit. Now, when you're not busy doing nothing but grinding out Brawlhalla all day, all night, you both come from very different educational backgrounds.
Yep.
Addy, is it true that you're currently studying esports business at KAMK?
Yeah, it is.
What's that like?
Uh,
Because that's like a super new field, like crazy new field.
it's the first in the world, so very new, yeah. It's actually super nice. I'm super passionate about esports in general, so being able to study it with people like me who are very like experienced in the field and just interested in it is super nice. It's just business studies combined with like esports studies taught by a guy who used to be a pro, and he's like pretty well versed in different fields of esports.
Now, how does your studying esports business, does any of that like translate over to what you're doing here? Because obviously there's probably more management in the terms of the education compared to like here you're a player where your probably #1 goal is to just be the best at the game.
Yeah, no, it doesn't really transfer, but I try to like lay out esports career after the playing career. So it doesn't help now, but it's gonna help in the future. So.
And you'll know, like in the future, depending on what you do in esports, is you have kind of two really important sides of it. You have the player side, because obviously you're experiencing that right now, and then you also have the business side, the management side, the other side of esports, which is really cool. Now, Cake, I heard that you spent 3 years at culinary school.
I did.
What skills did you pick up there?
All of them, dude.
All of the culinary skills. Now, in your culinary experience, which hot sauce so far is your favorite?
I don't really think I have one, dude.
Do you like them?
Yeah.
Was there anyone that you super don't like so far?
Chiba Gold.
You didn't like Chiba Gold.
Gold? Not that much.
All of them are pretty good so far.
Now, pretend that you had a date tonight. A hot date. Absolutely steamy hot date. It's a first date too. What would you cook for them?
Maybe some wings.
Maybe some wings?
Some wings.
That's easy. You just DoorDash that. You don't even have to worry about it. All right, we're going to move to the next sauce. We're starting to crank up the heat a little bit. This one is Zombie Apocalypse. How you doing so far, Cake?
I'm doing good.
No problems? Addy, feeling good?
It went in my throat, but that's the only problem so far. But
Yeah, we haven't seen, like, we've seen a couple sips of the milk. Cake's been drinking his water. No worries so far, though. Like, you still got a little bit of water left. Now, EU versus NA was a bitter rivalry for a long time. Both sides really dug in. North America 100% believed we were the better region. Y'all 100% believed y'all were the better region. But it was NA dominated at basically every tournament. The only asterisk to that for a long time was Zaloxery at Combo Breaker in 2016, and even that was somewhat forgotten and not looked upon as like a proper EU win just because it was so long ago in Brawlhalla's history. Because you two are some of the absolute best traveling EU players, a lot of that pressure is on you and was on you for a really long time. Explain the history of the EU versus NA rivalry from y'all's point of view.
from my point of view, I was placing the best out of like all the EU players in 1s and 2s for like 2 years or something. So I kind of just felt like EU wasn't pulling their weight. Like, you can't blame me that EU wasn't better than NA because no one else was pulling in the weight. So I kind of just felt like EU was always on my back. So I just like admitted that NA is better since NA is better than me at least
Okay.
during that time.
What about you, Kate?
Well, I'm gonna be honest. I've never been really that good at 1v1s, okay? So.
That's not true.
Yes, it is.
You were an amazing 1v1 player.
I had
at
one
point.
good LAN, okay?
Which one was it?
Combo Breaker.
Combo Breaker?
That's my only good place.
That was
Third place.
yeah, that was Combo Breaker 2017, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the only good one.
That's awesome.
I guess.
And you were placing well in online tournaments too in EU. Like you had a string where you were playing really, really solid.
I guess.
Didn't you get like third in Dreamhack Summer?
Oh yeah.
This one?
That happened.
Yeah.
Forgot about that one.
The heat's starting to get to your tongue. The spice is starting to get in your
It
throat.
is.
We still doing all right?
I'm alive.
All right, we're gonna move on to the next one. This one is widely regarded as the absolute worst. It's a terrible sauce. It does not taste good. It should not be created.
Yeah. I watch enough. Watch enough to know.
But we're gonna put it in our mouths now and swallow it.
Yeah, that sounds pretty bad.
Not like date night material.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to. If I had a steamy date coming over, this would not be on the menu. Now we've had a couple different really important grand finals situations for y'all that I wanted to zoom in on. Now, being the undisputed top 2v2 team in EU, at the time Dreamhack Austin was the first land of that season. How did y'all feel going into the winners final set against Boomy and Remy? And I want to know how you felt at different points in it. How did you feel going against them in grands after getting 3-0'd? And then how did you feel after getting 6-0'd by them?
So, which tournament was this?
Dreamhack Austin.
So, losing after BCX?
No, this was at Dreamhack Austin after getting 3-0'd. And after getting 3-0'd in winners finals, you went down in the losers bracket.
Yep.
And then you won that, went back up into grands, and got 3-0'd again. So total of 6-0.
Yep.
So how did you feel before the grand final set, after getting 3-0'd, knowing like, we have to do this again. We have to find something to beat them.
Well, probably exactly that. We felt like we have to find something to beat them, but we didn't.
Were you just kind of grasping at straws? Did you have a plan going in of like, okay, this is how they beat us before, this is what we're gonna do? Or was it, we're just gonna try anything we can?
Yeah, we're just gonna try everything we can.
Cake, how did you feel?
I mean, I don't remember, to be honest with you. It was so long ago.
It was a while ago.
That's kind of the two sides of the 2v2 team right here. Cake, you just kind of do your thing, go with the flow. Addy's the man with the plan.
I don't have any plans. I don't make plans.
I know that was a tough one. If you can get through this, we're almost done.
Okay.
You made it past like the biggest hump, sort of.
Ooh.
The next one is Hellfire Fear This. If you need any more milk or any water anytime, you just say something. Creed, we need some more water.
Milk.
This is why I literally never trust him. More milk for Addy, more water for Cake. This is why I wanted 3 cups, because Creed never gives us the water or milk when we need it. I just want everyone to know that I asked for the 3 cups, and Creed said no. He literally denied me the cups. You ready for the next one?
Yeah.
So I'm sitting across the table, and I'm honored to be across the table from 2 world champions. The first world champions to ever grace this show with their presence. But pivoting back to the NA versus EU rivalry for just a second, how did it feel at BCX 2018 going into an all EU grand finals in 2s? Like you knew at the very least EU was going to take the dub here in 2s in their biggest LAN win of all time.
That was a pretty proud moment.
Honestly, I was pretty disappointed that we didn't get to play Boomy and Remy, but
That too.
Really?
yeah,
That too.
I wanted that revenge.
Yeah.
Now talking about times that you played well, Cake, you played, holy crap. You played so good in grands. That was unreal. It's like the best you've ever played in 2s. Now, I'm sure the win for yourself by far trumps the win for the region, because obviously it's for you. You personally get all that glory.
Yeah.
But what was it? Sorry, and then moving on from that, after all this time, describe that final 2v1 against Agzo and what it was like after Cake hit that final unarmed D-Light ground pound, killing Agzo in Game 5 of Grand Finals.
I was a bit nervous until that point. I think Cake went for a super random GC Hattori down sig on Spear.
Yeah, he went for a lot of really random stuff, and I was super worried.
In the moment.
I was really worried. I was like, is this it? Like 2017 all over again? But nah. Cake pulled it off. That was a really nice downlight.
When you hit the D-Light, were you worried about dropping the ground pound?
Not really, actually.
You felt it? You knew you had
I
it?
felt I had it.
Yeah. Was pretty surreal after that.
Now, we do have a tradition around here. Then on the final wing, you put just a little bit extra. That's why this sauce is called the last dab from Holland. You don't have to do it. Don't feel pressured to do it. But if you want to,
Let's do it.
the bottle's right here for you.
Okay, that's it.
Oh, no.
I'm not ready for that one.
Oh, no. I always put too much. It is a thick sauce. You're gonna have to give it. You're gonna have to give it a shake or two.
Oh no.
No, Addy, you got to.
No.
Addy, you're done. You're dead. You're gonna die.
Oh no.
Oh my God!
We need to fix this bottle. We came here for 2v2s, not to die.
We got a day to recover tomorrow.
Yeah, you got a full day of recovery. All right, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers.
You made it all the way to the end. All right, now take those legal pads that are below your platter, and we're gonna play what is referred to as the Newlywed game.
Oh. That's the what?
The Newlywed game.
Okay.
Now, of course, you're not wed in holy matrimony, but you two have spent considerable time together over the years, getting to know one another. I think you're friends, but honestly, I don't know. You at least put on a good front that you're friends. So the goal here is I'm going to ask you a question. And what is your partner's favorite color? That means, Addy, you're going to write down what you think Cake's favorite color is. Cake, you're going to write down what you think Addy's favorite color is. I'm then going to ask the other person, I'll say, hey, Cake, what is your favorite color? And what's your favorite color?
Red.
And your goal is to hopefully have written down red. Now, this first one is very easy, or at least it should be super easy for one of you. We need a water refill.
We pointed at that.
Here, take my water. We're all on the same team here. Now, this should be pretty easy for at least one of you. When is your teammate's birthday? And make sure to hold your pads up, because I don't want any cheating here. Addy, when's your birthday?
18th of August, 1999.
Well, 17th, bro.
Oh, you got the year though. You got the year.
Yeah.
Cake, when's your birthday?
13th of April.
April 30th is what I wrote.
That's close.
Yeah.
If he says it real fast with a Swedish accent, 13th and 30th sounds really, really close. Is it 98?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know why I knew that. I think I picked it up on some Discord recently.
I'll give you at least half a point because you got the year. Now, your teammate wins both ones and twos. That's a total of $6,000 US dollars. What is the first thing he buys? Cake's already done, dude. He nailed it.
Yeah.
Cake, what's the first thing you buy?
Drinks.
No, that you don't. I don't think you understood. It's what's the first thing you buy? Say what's the first thing that you buy?
Oh, I buy.
Yes.
Oh.
Why would I ask you to write down what the first
I
thing
don't
you
know,
buy?
bro. I wasn't thinking, okay? It's the hot ones.
That's okay. Addy, what's the first thing you buy?
Probably drinks, yeah.
Okay, yeah. We'll give you the point on that one.
Drinks and ice cream, probably.
I wish we had ice cream here for you, but the
That would be super
environment doesn't really lend itself to that because it would be melted by now. All right, we're gonna kind of sort of skip that question.
Yeah, my bad.
What is your teammate's favorite junk food? Now, Cake, what is your teammate's favorite junk food? What is Addymestic's favorite junk food?
Okay.
Cake, what's your favorite junk food?
Wait, what if I don't know the answer to that question?
What?
Yeah, I'm the
What if
same-
I don't know the
same
answer?
problem.
Say something.
Chinese food? That's not junk food, but...
What did you write down?
I wrote a large pizza.
Not really
pizza.
close. Yeah, you gotta show us. What's your favorite junk food, Addy?
Pizza, probably.
What'd you write down, Cake?
Burgers.
Ooh. We're not.
I don't respect that.
2v2 teams don't really know each other very well. Like we did this with Cody Travis and Isdrew. They had a lot of trouble as well. All right, now if you were both stranded on a desert island, who would be the first person to suggest cannibalism? Now this doesn't necessarily mean killing and eating the other person, but one of you might be like, okay, we're both starving. We could cut off a finger and make that last for a while. Who would be the first person to suggest cannibalism? Yes. Now here, you are going to flip your pads at the same time. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Cake with 3 exclamation points, me in all caps. That's a point for each of you. Very well done. Now, with Cake, because of his culinary skills,
Yes.
like he could probably make a finger or a toe taste like pretty killer.
Yeah. That was my thinking process too.
Now, because y'all are a 2v2 team, when you're playing 2v2s, who dies first more often? Again, on 3, we're gonna flip our boards. 1, 2, 3. Cake, you only wrote down one name. Me for both. Did you reuse the one from last one?
No,
Or
I
did you
actually
write
did. I made 2. What's the other one?
It's me both times. So first off, you think you die first more often. Who gets knocked out? Who gets forced into the 1v2 situation? Addy is the one who gets forced into the 1v2 situation.
Yeah.
Cake, that means you gotta step it up, dude.
You're
Y'all
right.
were at least right on that. Thank y'all so much for joining me today.
Thanks for having us.
I'm
That's
proud.
nice.
You represented the EU region very well. You're the first EU guests on here. You made it all the way through, hardly sweating, not even worried about it. Y'all did so good. I'm actually extremely proud of you. Like Cody Travis didn't make it all the way through. Everyone else so far, like Brawlhalla players are apparently really, really strong. Because I don't know if you saw the episode with Idris Elba, but he almost choked to death. Y'all made it through, no worries. Addy's gonna need to guzzle some water. I hope y'all don't feel too bad tonight. You got some playing to do tomorrow, but this is your time. You have 3 cameras in front of you. Go ahead and let it go. Anything you want to say to the people? Anything you want to say to your fans? Anything you want to say to the public watching this?
Thanks for supporting me.
Yeah, same.
My
Water.
teammate's dead.
Yeah, also honored to be here. Follow me on Twitter. Stay hydrated.
What's your Twitter?
Addymestic.
What's your Twitter, Cake?
That cake was taken.
Any other things you want to plug? Got a Twitch channel, YouTube channel, anything like that?
Twitch is also Addymestic. Instagram is Alexi Addy.
Thank you all so much for joining me. Cake,
Thank you.
Addy, you did great, guys.
Also honored.
Made it all the way through. All right, we're done.